All right, well, I can't believe we're about to approach a brand new school year in college. So here I have 20 speedy tips for you guys for you to do your best in architecture school. I know Zoom University was like super hard, a big struggle. I mean, at least I struggled. Maybe I was the only one, but I really missed that human connection. So I'm so excited to be going back in school, back into classes. And I just wanted to share some advice, especially if you are a new, maybe a rising sophomore right now in architecture school and you never actually went into a studio before. Here are some tips for you guys, and let's just get right into it. Hey guys, it is your girl Nat here. I am back with the new video, and yeah, let's just get started. Comment down below what university you are attending or what your dream school is. Maybe you're in high school, I don't know. Tip number 1, make most of your time. School really is what you make of it, but also I want to say there is a big world outside of the world of architecture. Trust me, it is the most time-intensive major, architecture school. So that being said, don't kill yourself in studio. There is more to life than just architecture. College is such a short time, so make sure you go to football games, go out with your friends, make friends with non-architecture majors, and have fun. You have the rest of your life really just to be an adult. So this time right now is so precious, and really just make most of it. And also understand that time management is everything. You can balance a lot with effective time management skills. I have a video on time management up here. Please feel free to watch. 2, create wild things. Wild things. Trust me, you will have your whole professional career to be practical because you have things like gravity and code laws to abide by. College is such a unique time too in architecture school just because you're working solo for the most part and you really have the freedom to do whatever you want. Now, there will need to be like a concept behind everything, and if you need help creating concepts, I got you. But still, go crazy, go wild, and really let your mind do whatever it wants, be as creative as possible and really have fun with it. Number 3, get sleep. Seriously, please. Sleep. It is just such this cultural thing in architecture school to not sleep, and I don't know why, and sometimes professors will actually encourage you to not sleep. Please don't do this. Please don't do this. I did this and I hated it and I was miserable, and I think I pulled 3, 4, 5 all-nighters in undergrad, and then I pulled 2 or 3 in grad school so far, and it's ridiculous. So my goal for this year is to actually never pull an all-nighter again. So I'll keep you guys updated, of course, but it's just pointless. It really is. Number 4 is don't buy the toolkits. I can't tell you how many times I bought 2 actually because I was the design major first, and I bought a toolkit then, and then I bought another architecture toolkit because they told me I would need it. I did not, and I don't use it. So if you guys want a dedicated video on tools I actually use, please let me know. I made one last year, but I can always make an updated one. Now also, you don't have to buy everything yourself too. There will be a lot of major dropouts, so at the end of the first semester, hang around for a couple extra days after the semester is over. A lot of times these major dropouts will just leave all of their supplies in the architecture building. Obviously, don't steal anything, but if they abandon the tools once the semester is over, there's a pretty good chance maintenance was just gonna throw it in the garbage anyway. So, make sure you wait long enough, and yeah, there you go, you have some tools. Number 5, keep an extra change of clothes and some toiletries in studio. Now, although you might not be pulling an all-nighter, it might be really comforting just to have an extra sweatshirt in studio and a change of clothes and some toiletry and a toothbrush and toothpaste. Let me tell you, there are going to be multiple late nights. You might not be pulling an all-nighter, but there will be late nights. Let me just warn you right now. When you are pulling a late night and you just want to, go home and shower, you aren't going to be able to do that, but deodorant, man. Number 6 is build your network. Build it as soon as you step foot on campus. Hi, my name is Natalie. I go to Penn. I'm a current Penn student. I am interested in your architecture firm, blah, blah, blah. Whatever you write in your email, I would love to buy you a coffee and pick your brain for a little bit. Start networking as soon as humanly possible because you'll basically be guaranteed a secure job with somebody you already know a couple years down the line. freshman versus being a second semester senior begging for a job. Trust me, this is a much easier approach, and you'll have a vast professional network that you can tap into anytime you need. Tip number 7, learn how to write. You'd be surprised how often we write. We write a lot of papers in history class, of course, on like the history of architecture, duh. But you will also need to write concept statements and understand your word choices matter. Whenever I get a negative feedback from a studio critique, it's really over my word choices and how I articulated my concept and the idea behind my architectural project. So words really do matter, so learn how to write and be super nitpicky about what kind of words you are using in your concept statement. Tip number 8, be a good studio mate. This group of people in your studio class are going to be the same people that you will be surrounded by for 3, 4, 5 years, 6 years even, depending on your program's length. Be a good friend, be a good studio mate, make really good friends with them. And also, just another side note, be careful if you choose to date one of your studio mates. I made this mistake, and after we parted ways, everyone knew about it and it was super awkward. And also, unfortunately, I had to see my ex in every single class after that for the next year and a half. So that being said, be careful, and I'll just leave it at that. Tip number 9, travel as much as you can. Do study abroads. There's a lot of scholarships out there for students. Let me tell you, no amount of history books you read or YouTube videos you watch will compare to you actually walking through Rome and experiencing the architecture. I mean, will take your breath away. That being said, haven't been to Rome yet. Somebody please take me. Thank you so much. Tip number 10, overcome your perfectionist mindset. Now, I'm a perfectionist and it took me years to get out of this. Understand that at the end of the day, the project is still going to be due. You're going to be fine. Learn to be comfortable with being imperfectly perfect, and you'll start thriving in school, trust me. And also, trust me when I say your models are going to look like garbage. So that being said, it's a good thing you aren't a perfectionist and you stopped caring as much, because yeah, the model making skills take a little bit to develop. Number 11, get good constructive feedback during studio crits from your professor. If you don't understand what they're saying, ask for clarification. This is another regret of mine where I would just like nod my head and like try and figure out what they were saying later, but just ask for clarification. Keep in mind, you're paying for this. You are paying for college. So make sure you get your money's worth, okay? Tip number 12, improve your drawing skills starting right after you finish this video, and subscribe. I do understand in architecture, we are mainly digitally drawing. However, you do really start with hand sketching. You hand sketch your ideas and then you translate them digitally. Please, guys, start learning how to hand draw. And if you want a dedicated video on this, please let me know. Tip number 13, most architecture schools are going to have an architecture library. Go visit it and browse the books and look at all the pictures and read a new book every week or something like that if you can. Honestly, I wish I took advantage of this more when I was at Knowlton, because we had such a beautiful and extensive library and I just never took advantage of it. Go visit the library and actually read a book. Tip number 14, find a mentor. A lot of architecture schools will also have a mentorship program. If you guys don't, reach out to those professionals, ask for a mentor, basically in a nice way. They'll guide you through so much. I had so many questions about the professional world and licenseship and all that stuff. I think I've had 3 mentors so far. One I still keep in contact to this day, even though we were paired up and partnered 3 years ago. And also, your mentor will be sure to buy you lunch. So if you're broke, good life hack. And they're great. They're fantastic people. Tip number 15, don't make too many commitments and learn how to say no. Please stop feeling obligated to say yes to everyone, because there are only 24 hours in a day. You are an architecture student. You might have a significant other. You might have another job. You might have family commitments. Learn how to say no. It is okay if you can't do it all. Tip number 16, minimize your distractions when you are in studio. You'd be amazed at yourself by how much more productive you will be if you put away your phone and just really like think super hard. Honestly, you'll probably save time in the long run and be able to go home more if you minimize these distractions. Tip number 17, procrastination is your enemy. Limit distractions, get it over with, and you will struggle in architecture. I'm going to tell you right now, you will struggle in architecture if you are a procrastinator. Tip number 18, be optimistic. Please be optimistic. If you go through your whole 4, 5, 6 years of college being very pessimistic about every assignment and every obligation you have to fulfill, you're going to look back at college with like, oh, that was a waste of time. I was so stressed. It wasn't worth it. All this stuff versus approaching every day with a sense of optimism and happiness. I think you'll live a much longer life and a happier life. Just try and be optimistic and surround yourself with positive, supportive people. No negative vibes here. 19, know that being frustrated is a super common thing because we are thinking so much and it is an organic problem with a lot of moving components. It might be hard to find a good, valid solution. So that being said, if you are super frustrated, take a break, go home, get a shower, go work out, go hang out with friends, go to PF Chang's, do whatever you need to do and take a break because it's gonna be hard overcoming this frustration and it's normal. It's normal to experience this in school. It won't be a smooth journey all the way through. I mean, maybe it will, and I'm super jealous, but I remember getting so frustrated. Take a breather, come back the next day refreshed. And my last tip for you guys is do not compare yourself to your peers. Your peers are going to be unbelievably talented, and it's okay if some have a stronger design background and you might be a complete beginner to design. And I don't know, maybe somebody's dad's an architect and it just comes naturally to that person. It's okay, like you guys are on different paths right now, but you'll develop your skills. Don't compare yourself to begin with. Go back to that positive, optimistic mindset. Thank you so much for watching. Comment down below what college you are attending or if you have any other tips you'd like to add to this conversation. I'll see you guys in the next video. Love you guys.